Welcome to our first ever virtual visit of the UM Museum. Today we'll be exploring our brand new folk art exhibit, Remaking Tradition, Southern Self-Taught Art from the Permanent Collection of our museum. Follow me and we will check it out. For today's project, we are going to focus on this amazing piece here. Could anyone guess what it is? It is a beaded jug, and it is called Untitled by self-taught folk artist L.V. Hull. L.V. Hull was from McAdams, Mississippi. She would paint on anything that she could find, once saying how frustrated it made her to see garbage trucks pass by her home with perfectly good raw materials for her art scattered through their cargoes. L.V. Hull would often get inspiration from the people who would visit her by studying them and analyzing their personalities. Look at all the colors and the patterns on this piece of art. What personality traits do you see in this bottle? Hull would often display her art in her front lawn, so those who would drive by would see her works. My best advice is on my mailbox. Mind your own business. Thank you. L.V. Hull. All right, y'all, let's head back to the studio and get started on our project. Hey Leapfrog, welcome to our first ever virtual museum visit. Today we are making a project inspired by folk artist L.V. Hull. So everyone should have their museum art kit. In your kit you should have a piece of cardboard that has been spray painted black on the front, a paper towel, some glue, a couple Q-tips, some paint, a paintbrush, and a baggie filled with some found materials. Most of them should have some buttons, beads, sequins, such a fun medley of little trinkets. The only extra thing that you are going to need for this project is some water to clean your paintbrush. So you could use just a cup full of water. I have this special container that I use for my water. But anything that you have around your house, go ahead, fill that up with a little bit of water, and we'll be all set to start our project. Okay, y'all, so for step one of our L.V. Hull inspired piece of art, I recommend grabbing just a pencil because what we are going to do is write an inspirational quote or saying on our piece of black cardboard. So think really hard, what do you want to say? What do you want your art to tell its viewers? Couple ideas, don't worry, be happy, maybe stay cool, be kind. There's a lot of things, the short sayings that you could write and then we will paint on our black canvas. So I think I'm going to write, my inspirational saying is going to be, be sweet. Be sweet. So now that I have that written in pencil, it's time to break out our paint. So go ahead, grab your paint, and you're gonna have to open up all of these little buckets. Be careful when you're opening them. You don't want them to squirt out everywhere. Let's grab our paintbrush and dip into any color that you want. I'm going to make each word a different color. So I'm gonna start with, really love this blue. I'm gonna do this blue. Okay, now that I'm done with my blue, I'm going to wash my brush before I go into my next color. So just dip your brush into your water. It's really important to dry your brush after you wash it. You don't really want to mix water into your paint. It could ruin the paint. And then pick your next color. My color is going to be orange. Okay, now that I'm done with my orange, I'm gonna wash my brush again. Now I'm done painting my little inspirational saying, but I want to add some more detail to the background of my canvas. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into different colors of paint. I think I'm going to add polka dots, but you can add whatever you want. You want to put hearts, swirlies, whatever your heart desires. So now that I am all set with my painting, I'm going to give this a little bit of time to dry before I move on to step 2. So I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to take my paint, and you should all have a good bit of paint left over. I think it's a good idea to close the tops on the paint. You should hear a click, and that will keep the paint from drying out. You can use this paint for another project, anything that you really want to use it for, this is yours, and it's just a good idea, I think, to close it up, save it for the next time that you want to use it, rather than letting it dry out. Because if it dries out, you're gonna have to throw it away. All right, so let's give this a little bit of time to dry, and we'll be back shortly. Alrighty, so now that our inspirational saying is dry and good to go, we can move on to our next step. For our next step, you're going to need your canvas, your glue, a couple Q-tips, and your medley of different collage materials and trinkets. So now what we're going to do is open up the glue. Now the Q-tips here are used to apply the glue. So I'm going to carefully empty your bag of collage materials and pick out your favorites. I'm going to put quite a bit on my canvas. I think adding this great texture using these found materials is a great way to get that LV Hull look on our piece. So a couple examples: dip your Q-tip into your glue, and depending on the size of the button, a little dot of glue should hold it just fine, or the size of the bead. And I'm just gonna go all around my canvas and apply these different collage materials. And there we have it, Leapfrog, our completed LV Hull inspired piece of art. Once it is dry, feel free to display it somewhere in your home or give it as a gift to a friend or a loved one. I hope y'all had fun creating art with me today, and we cannot wait to see you next time at our virtual museum visit. Bye!